Hello everyone, today we're going to take a look at the setting page. At the very beginning of using the software, we already encountered some features on this page. In today's video, we'll cover the remaining parts of this functionality. The setting page contains two tabs, General and Pressure. Let's start with General. In previous videos, how to show real-time data and the BTS tutorial, we already discussed the serial port settings for the steering tool and BTS controller, as well as the selection of steering tool type located below. Now, let's look at the right-hand section, labeled Entry Point Parameters. This section displays the relative position offset between the actual entry point and the planned, design, entry point. For example, based on the numbers shown in the fields, the actual entry point is 1.47 meters ahead of the planned point, 15 centimeters to the left, and the elevation is given as an absolute value, so we can't directly tell whether it's higher or lower than the design point. The whole length is set to 0. Below that are the values for inclination angle, azimuth angle, baseline azimuth. Note, the baseline azimuth is heavily affected by surrounding equipment, drill rods, and fences during the initial entry phase, so it can be left blank at this stage. Once the drill rig has moved beyond the fenced area, you should perform the first beacon measurement. Based on that result, enter a reasonably accurate baseline azimuth value. Then, through multiple subsequent BTS measurements, gradually refine and determine the precise baseline azimuth. Now, let's switch to the Pressure tab. Here, we can clearly see three functional areas. Leftmost section, Pressure Unit Selection. 3 units are available, allowing users from different regions or with different preferences to choose the most suitable one. Middle section, after selecting a pressure unit, you can set the high/low alarm thresholds for pipe pressure. Right section, set the high/low alarm thresholds for annular pressure. At the very bottom, there's a field where users can manually define a pressure threshold. Only when the pressure change exceeds this threshold will the system record and save the data point. In other words, this allows the user to define the minimum detectable pressure change that the system should log. Important warning, after making any changes, don't forget to click Apply to make your settings take effect.